Greetings, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another episode of the Roundup right here on Top 6 Fan TV, where we'll be touching base with the action surrounding the traditional top six from the weekend that has just gone by, and a set of fantastic results right there in the English Premier League. And we'll start to dissect what happened and what the key talking points were right after this. Fantastic, fantastic. If you're joining us for the first time, feel free to hit the subscribe button. Do feel free to hit the like button as well. And of course, most importantly, drop your comment to take part in the conversation, ladies and gentlemen in the virtual audience. And do feel free to catch up with our social pages as well on Twitter, X, Instagram, Threads, and TikTok at Top 6 Fan TV, and we'll be definitely looking forward to catching up with you. Do follow those pages as well, and we'll jump straight into the action and what result kicked off the weekend. Stamford Bridge was the scene of another great afternoon, or rather, should I say, rather evening of great football right there, and Pochettino's boys, much to the delight of the boys in blue, are getting into their stride. A fantastic result. Raheem Sterling, coming through and actually making a difference right there, scoring 2 goals and setting up another for Nicholas Jackson, striker who came in from Villarreal. And Chelsea are looking razor sharp at the moment. I know it was Luton Town, but we do know that that result there is going to give them quite a bit of energy going into their next set of matches, and we will get into the next fixtures for the weekend before it breaks off into the international break. But fantastic result from Pochettino's boys. What do you think? Are Chelsea back? Do you feel like Pochettino has gotten them into top four form? And of course, that actually coincides with Raheem Sterling starting to show glimpses of what Chelsea paid so much money for in that transfer from Manchester City. Please do drop your comments in there, and we will definitely be touching base on them. I see some comments coming through as well. Ray Kananura, Liverpool man, says, the only story this weekend was a great comeback of 10-man Liverpool mentality monsters. Face and there with the smiley right there. We'll get into Liverpool's result, right? But some respect to the boys in blue who suffered much pain last season, and the most expensive midfield proving proving too much for Luton to contain. Caicedo as well, of course, starting in there with Enzo, who also had a good game, and Chelsea looking smooth as they move along. Of course, the next match right there was another positive result for Spurs right there, who are flying under the radar with Postecoglou, the new manager, and of course a few new members to the team, proving decisive right there as they beat Bournemouth away 2-0. Goals coming in from Madison, the new number 10, who is actually in brilliant form and looking like a bargain. The other goal coming in from Kulusevski, and of course Son not yet firing on all cylinders, but definitely looking like Madison is driving the team, and we will definitely be seeing some fantastic action from them. Raymond chipping in as well. Madison Magic, he agrees. Goodbye for them. Indeed, you wonder why the other big boys didn't uh, look at Madison, and that was a bargain from Leicester City. And Spurs as well. It's only 3 games in, and we do know that it will take time for them to get back to that formidable team that Pochettino had that got to the Champions League final. But suddenly looking quite smooth under Postecoglou, who won some honors with Celtic right there in the Scottish Premier League. And moving on to another game right there in the English Premier League on the weekend, a big one in North London, Fulham, a bit of a London derby. Fulham being welcomed to the Emirates, and many people on paper put this out as an easy win for Arsenal, but some errors coming into the game, and Arsenal conceding an early one right there to Fulham through Pereira, who latched onto a horrible back pass from Saka and put it beyond Ramsdale before Fulham actually held Arsenal until the 70th minute. Would you believe it? It was a very organized display from Fulham, who we know under Marco Silva, are very organized, and Arteta ringing the changes and eventually bring on the likes of the likes of Fabio Vieira as well as Eddie Nketiah, who actually turned the game into Arsenal's favor and equalized. Of course, the penalty coming in from Bukayo Saka, but off a challenge from Vieira in the penalty box, and then Eddie Nketiah, call me, as he likes to be called sometimes, slotting in the equalizer. But unfortunately, Arsenal conceding a late goal from João Palhinha through a corner kick, and that summed up the misery for the Arsenal, who, as you can see, Palhinha, they're celebrating, and that left quite a bit of Arsenal fans looking like Arteta in this shot right here, and ruining um, a lot of the chances and the missed opportunity. But the big talking point from that game, and one that is trending from a lot of Arsenal fans, is Arteta tinkering with his team. Partey again starting at right back, Gabriel the defender being benched, and a lot of Arsenal fans not happy with that tinkering. And the guns are being turned towards Kai Havertz, 60 million signing from Chelsea, and looks like all that tinkering is Arteta is going about all that tinkering to actually incorporate Havertz into that team and make sure he fits into that midfield or starts. A lot of Arsenal fans, of course, the big one coming up, Manchester United coming to the Emirates in the next game. A lot of Arsenal fans calling for Gabriel to be restored at the back, Ben White to be restored at right back, Partey to be restored to the midfield, and starting with Rice and Odegaard, with Havertz going back to the bench, and that should be able to, in the eyes of a lot of Arsenal fans, restore the attacking proficiency of Arsenal. Look at the partnership right there on the right wing with Ben White and Bukayo Saka, looking at the solid defensive partnership in midfield between Gabriel and Saliba, and of course with Zinchenko back from injury, looking at him slotting into that inverted wing-back role that he played all too well last season with quite a bit of positivity. In terms of attack, a lot of Arsenal fans calling for Eddie to start. The Trossard experiment failed. Trossard, of course, starting, but I believe Trossard works well coming in from midfield, from either the 8 or the number 10 roles or off the wing, versus him coming, playing down the middle in the striking position. So great football right there, but the result, not what Arsenal was looking for. But we will see what happens. The big one, like we said, comes up next with Manchester United coming over. What are your thoughts? Do you feel Arteta is tinkering too much with the team? Should he, get Partey out of the defense, or do you understand what he's trying to do from a tactical point of view? I had some pundits actually explaining that he's looking for Partey to provide an inverted fullback role as well to sort of overload the midfield and basically gain more control of the game and hence initiate more attacks for the front three to capitalize on. But that didn't seem to work. Fulham were very organized defensively and took advantage also on the counter and poor result for the Gunners in the end. But it's not all doom and gloom. Early days, like we've said, and we will wait to see what happens as the season goes along. The champions of Europe and England were at it again with Manchester City proving to be too much for Sheffield United away, and not in an emphatic manner. It was a 2-1 victory for them. Goals coming in from Erling Haaland. Bogo equalized for Sheffield later on in the 85th minute to actually raise the hopes of Sheffield fans for a memorable upset, but that was not to be because a couple of minutes later, Rodri did what Rodri does best, rifling one into the top left corner for Manchester City, and they maintain a perfect start right there. 3 wins from 3. They sit at pretty atop the English Premier League table, and it's a great result for them. Pep Guardiola, of course, recovering from some minor back surgery and looking good as well. Manchester United, um, the other big boys from Manchester, not having an easy ride over the weekend, but coming back impressively against Nottingham Forest. Forest taking a 2-0 lead in the first half through Taiwo Awoniyi, who's in fantastic form for Nottingham Forest, and Willie Bolly as well, putting them ahead. But Manchester United coming back, starting the resurgence through Christian Eriksen, who you see there, and then Casemiro equalizing in the 52nd minute before a penalty, that was considered by Nottingham Forest. Rashford being brought down in the box, and Bruno Fernandes doing what he does best, slotting that penalty in, giving United a fantastic comeback win for the Red Devils, albeit not convincing for the fans who were up in arms, in the first part of the game. They didn't like what they were seeing, but United coming back and coming strong, and the result was secured for them. The big result, though, as Raymond did call out Ray, we saw his comments coming in a couple of minutes ago, was the result at St. James's Park. Liverpool going down to Newcastle at St. James's Park. And I must say, this was a cracker of a match. Kicked off in dramatic fashion with Anthony Gordon giving Newcastle the lead in 25 minutes before Virgil van Dijk there, as you can see, who you can see in that visual right there, received his marching orders, a straight red, although that has been reduced right now in terms of the number of games he's going to miss from two, just down to one game. And upon appeal, I think Liverpool who have done a good job of appealing, bring that down. But Virgil van Dijk getting his marching orders, and at that point, Newcastle were leading and led all the way until the 81st minute when the super sub, I should say, from Liverpool, Jurgen Klopp bring on Darwin Núñez in the 77th minute, and that paid off. Darwin Núñez, the hero of the day, with 2 goals, would you believe it, in the 81st minute, and then deep into additional time, laying onto a fantastic pass from Mo Salah to make it 2-1. A result that Jurgen Klopp played in all his games he had never experienced. Of course, there have been some great comebacks there for Liverpool, but this certainly ranked high on Jurgen Klopp's list. And there we can see Darwin Núñez again rescuing it for Liverpool. So the question there is, does Darwin Núñez start ahead of Cody Gakpo or one of the others? Certainly not Mo Salah for Liverpool in the next game. Does this force Jurgen Klopp's hand? We will see. Let me know what you think in the comments, and we will see what happens in the next game. Of course, there's some rumors around the transfer window with Mo Salah being quoted by one of the Saudi clubs, Al Ittihad, the 90 million pound move. Of course, there on the wages side, money ain't a thing for the big boys. Arab money is flowing, but we will wait to see. Transfer deadline is Thursday night, and we will know East African time early morning on Friday what the result is, whether there's been some dramatic transfers, and we will keep you posted right here on Top 6 Fan TV. I believe that was it for the weekend, ladies and gentlemen. That rounds up the key talking points from another weekend of action. Looking at the way things are standing on the table, it is early days, 3 games played. Manchester City, like we said, with the only team remaining with a perfect record right there, 3 wins out of 3, followed by West Ham, who are in great form as well. And I've just added the signing of Mohamed Kudus, Ghanaian international attacker, winger from Ajax, to their team. Their team is certainly looking quite balanced. They've utilized the money they received from Arsenal for Declan Rice very well, bringing James Ward-Prowse, bring in central midfield. I think it's Alvarez. Is it Alvarez? Yeah, I think it's Alvarez from Ajax as well, the central defensive midfielder, and then now bringing Mohamed Kudus. So great work from West Ham there, and suddenly showing. Spurs in third, Liverpool in fourth, Arsenal in fifth, Brighton in sixth, Manchester United sitting in eighth, and Chelsea in 10th with Newcastle in 13th. Early days it is, and of course, we do know the next round of matches coming up is going to be a cracker before the international break, involving the top 6. You have Spurs away to Burnley on Saturday the 2nd, and still on Saturday, Chelsea welcoming Nottingham Forest to Stamford Bridge, before Manchester City welcome Fulham to the Etihad. Newcastle go away to Brighton and Hove Albion, and Liverpool at Anfield and welcome Aston Villa, who have also been in decent form under Unai Emery, before the big one on Sunday wraps it all up with Arsenal welcoming Manchester United to the Emirates. We will see what happens in those matches, but that's it for now. Have a great rest of the week. Look out for our show later this week, and that is the locker room. We'll be coming back. We have an episode coming where we will have the gang, some representatives from the different clubs, and the banter will be back, I'm very sure. So look out for that later in the week before the transfer window, actually right after the transfer window ends, but before the international break. So we will catch up later. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button, ladies and gentlemen, and have a fantastic week ahead. Bye-bye.